online here on Lookuptv. Many thanks for making time to be with us tonight here on The Insight on this 27th day of September 2023, a day when the Pamoja joint bid, that is the bid to host the African Cup of Nations, the bid by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, was announced as successful. This is after the CAF did, of course, vote in favor of that particular bid as opposed to the Botswana and Senegalese bid to host that particular tournament in 2027. A momentous occasion not only for the East African continent but as well for the country at large. Now that, among many other stories, including the bipartisan or the dialogue, national dialogue talks, which entered day 26 today, and the Treasury CS Ndungu appeared before Parliament today in regards to matters the dollar shortage and the ever depreciating Kenyan shilling against the dollar, among many other issues. But first of all, let's have a look at what's making headlines tonight.
Tonight on The Insight, IPOA asks for more powers to execute their mandate as the national dialogue enters day 26. The decline of the shilling and numerous taxes take center stage as Treasury CS Ndungu faces Parliament. It's a yes for the Pamoja bid. Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania named 2027 African Cup of Nations joint hosts.
Thank you very much for being with us this particular hour. Remember, you can watch this bulletin live across our social media platforms at Lookuptv on Facebook and YouTube. Now, I am Ian Keitani and our sign language interpreter is Josephine Auko. We kickstart this particular bulletin with the national dialogue, and of course, as the national dialogue entered its 26th day today, the National Police Oversight Authority, that is IPOA, called for changes in law governing the authority to grant them more powers to execute their mandate on matters of police brutality. Now, appearing before the committee among other stakeholders to give their submissions, IPOA further advocated for the inclusion of 2000 gender role principle and the enrollment of female officers into the security personnel. Stanley Lugaria was at the Bomas of Kenya and compiled the following report.
We went to the streets.
Independent Policing Oversight Authority IPOA, during their submissions to NADCO on Wednesday, have recommended an increase of their powers to enable them to deal with the police brutality menace, as well as the inclusion of the Police Development Fund into the Consolidated Fund to help improve the uniformed men's living standards.
Government affirmative action fund can be enhanced and entrenched in the constitution. It can probably fund the rollout and support the polycare centers within the police stations.
The authority had a difficult time expounding on the measures they have undertaken to curb the police brutality, following Opio and I's remarks of a difference in figure between Azimio and IPOA on the total number of deaths resulting from the recently witnessed demonstrations, with Azimio reporting a total of 73, contrary to the IPOA who reported 57 across the country.
Or confirm. But from that end, because you are financed by taxpayers to do exactly that, how many lives of Kenyans were lost from police brutality?
The data that we have on deaths is 57.
Not 73.
Not 73.
IPOA has emphasized on the implementation of the two-thirds gender rule agenda, reiterating on the inclusion of the number of the slots awarded to females during the police force recruitment process.
In terms of that gender rule, we note that Kenya has made tremendous progress in terms of gender equality. However, within the space that we operate, which is policing, women officers comprise 10%.
On the other hand, NCIC has pushed for the agenda on unemployment among the youth to be addressed, as well as solving land and boundaries disputes and delimitation, revealing that the committee should come up with lasting solutions to the problems arising from the elections, alluding the country is in a limbo as a result of miscalculated political moves, which have left the country in a mess through the selfish political leaders who put their interest first at the masses of peace and tranquility.
National Dialogue Committee, this particular committee, is a moment again for Kenya to be courageous enough and confront the past. But I want to say the reason why we've missed those opportunities is because when a moment comes for us to engage in reconciliation, It is only important if the politicians are unhappy.
Women represented by Maendeleo ya Wanawake have advocated for the separation of cost of living and politics, citing that the politicians have politicized the matter instead of solving the equation that the majority of Kenyans continue to grapple with.
We would appreciate a separation of matters to do with cost of living and politics, because cost of living is affected by other external factors, such as we had a prolonged drought.
As the national dialogues continue, or enters it day 26 of the national dialogues at the Bomas of Kenya, now the big question arises: will the National Dialogue Committee approve all submissions made from the public, or will it relent to the idea that the reconstitution of the 2010 Constitution be undertaken or be delved to? Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv, at the Bomas of Kenya, Nairobi.
Many thanks, Stanley Lugaria, for that particular story. Moving forward, Treasury CS Njuguna Ndung'u had a hard time explaining why the Kenyan shilling continues to lose value over the US dollar as the economic situation continues to worsen. Now, despite President William Ruto assuring Kenyans that the shilling will appreciate, that has not been the case, with the exchange rate currently at 147 shilling against the dollar.
As the economy continues to deteriorate, with the Kenyan shilling losing value to the dollar, Treasury CS Njuguna Ndung'u had a difficult time explaining why the shilling was depreciating in value, blaming decisions made years ago for the current economic crisis.
Been policy mistakes. And those policy mistakes, we are paying for them very hard. The moment you change the relative price structure, whether it is coming from heavy investment in non-tradable sector, that is like for infrastructure, road sector, housing sector, and you are holding your currencies constant, what you are really doing is actually to change the relative price structure and the value of the currencies. That is, it becomes misaligned.
With Njuguna Ndung'u serving as the CBK boss before being appointed cabinet secretary, Ruraka MP Tom Kajwang slammed the CS for being part of the decision-making team who came up with the current structures.
But I'm wondering if he would be misleading the House, because if I remember, he served as the governor of the central bank within these years that he's talking about. In other words, he was part of policy making that he's talking about.
With the CS unsure of when the dollar to shilling problem will be solved, despite President Ruto promising Kenyans that the shilling will gain value, Suna East MP Junet Mohammed took the opportunity to slam the government for putting mechanisms in place, which has made the situation worse despite working together with oil producing countries.
As soon as you allowed the nominal exchange rate to move, because there was a requirement of it cannot fluctuate between 20 cents on either way, then we restarted the interbank market. There was a steep depreciation, which was also being pushed by the scarcity value of the dollar.
The government-to-government petroleum procurement system was supposed to help bring down the dollar to a rate that is possible, that is low. But Mr. Speaker, from the time we engaged in the G2G petroleum project, the shilling has depreciated by 25%, leave alone strengthening. And yesterday the minister issued a long statement saying that if we did not do that, the shilling even will have been worse.
The minister should be telling this House is what is the Treasury or the central bank doing so that the shilling is not on the free fall, so that the importers and exporters are going to get value for money.
Well, remember, Treasury CS Njuguna Ndung'u in January said that Kenyans should, of course, buckle up because there could be tough times ahead now. There seems to be no light at the end of the tunnel as it stands. And moving forward, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has lauded the reforms initiated in the tea sector by President Dr. William Ruto's administration. Now, Gachagua says in 6 months of the tea reforms, after 6 months after the tea reforms, farmers are now reaping big in improved bonuses and overall returns from tea sales. In a consultative meeting with the sector's key stakeholders in Nairobi, Gachagua said the government will continue offering technical support to farmers while also guaranteeing regular supply of subsidized fertilizer. Our reporter Henry Tende with more.
Excellency, the Deputy President.
In a high-profile meeting with key players in the tea sector in Nairobi, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has noted a remarkable improvement in bonuses paid to tea farmers as a result of sector reforms instituted by the government.
We are proud that within 6 months of our reforms, we are restoring sanity and stabilizing the tea subsector as envisioned under the Kenya Kwanza plan of putting more money in the pocket of the tea farmer. This is a direct positive impact to the farmer who is at the bottom of the socio-economic pyramid. We are dignifying the farmer. We have dignified the over 7 million members of this family. The farmer can now pay school fees for their children. The farmer can now invest in their dream projects.
The government has taken a keen interest in the tea sector, working round the clock to come up with new regulations to eliminate cartels that have for so long taken advantage of farmers. Gachagua says these enhanced reforms mean farmers are now benefiting more from tea farming as compared to 2 years ago. According to statistics presented by the Deputy President, a number of tea factories have embraced the reforms and are now paying satisfactory bonuses to farmers. Leading the pack is Gitugi Tea Factory in Nyeri, whose bonuses to farmers has improved by 57% per kilo of tea. Coming in second is Imenti Tea Factory with an improved bonus payment of 52%, Michimikuru Tea Factory with 47% bonus payment, while Momul Tea Factory from Kericho and Nyangoba Tea Factory from Nyamira pays 44 and 35 respectively.
We ask our farmers to enlist under the ongoing registration to, among other benefits, access subsidized fertilizer. The National Government Administration officers are requested to double their efforts in registering the farmers. On this note, I challenge KTDA to also work around provision of cheaper fertilizer to farmers in the long term in conjunction with the national government.
To benefit the farmer even more, Gachagua says the government will be seeking new international markets for tea products while calling on farmers to embrace orthodox variety of tea which fetches high returns in the market.
In the face of competition from upcoming tea producers, Kenya is standing out in orthodox tea. Besides encouraging farmers to venture into other varieties like purple tea, factories now need to incorporate flavored products as part of diversifying strategy to reach wider, trendy and high-value markets.
Henry Tende, Lookuptv.
Now that report by Henry Tende brings us to the end of the first segment here on The Insight. We're going on a short breather, but we'll be back with more news, including the coffee farmers' woes, even as their tea counterparts continue to rip big. So don't go away.
Realize your home ownership dream by investing in Brookvale Tuala, a magnificent prime residential property located in Ongata, Rongai. Brookvale Tuala by Safaricom Investment Cooperative overlooks the majestic Ngong Hills and lies only 24 kilometers from Nairobi CBD. The project boasts of well-serviced plots with a perimeter wall, graded roads and a borehole. 50 by 100 plots are going for 1.4 million shillings with a flexible payment plan of up to 6 months. To book your plot, call 0729 121212 today. Safaricom Investment Cooperative, the investment partner of choice.
Are you looking for experts in waterproofing systems, concrete admixtures, flooring systems, refurbishment solutions, roofing, sealing and bonding, and building finishing systems? Look no more, as Sika Kenya got you covered. With over 113 years of experience, we offer our customers a comprehensive one-stop shop experience and the best technical support. Our products are available in all leading hardware stores and building merchants across the country. Call us today on 0711 140 232 or 0786 140 834 or email us on sales@ke.sika.com. Sika Kenya, building trust.
Are you an SME looking for a media partner? Look no more, as Lookuptv got you covered for all your visibility and marketing needs. We at Lookuptv understand your business needs and want to work with you on your marketing journey, giving you solutions that will take you to the next level. Call us today on 0707 572 358 or send an email to sales@lookuptv.co.ke and kickstart this amazing journey. Welcome to Lookuptv, your official SME media partner.
Many thanks for staying with us. Remember, you can engage with us across our social media platforms at Lookuptv on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Now we continue with this bulletin, and coffee farmers in Murang'a have called for a minimum guaranteed returns failure, to which they will abandon the trade altogether. This is despite the national government's promises to revive the sector. Now Mevin Getembe with more on that story.
Coffee farmers in Murang'a County have threatened to abandon the much-hyped coffee farming if the government is not willing to give the guaranteed minimum returns. The farmers have lamented about their tough experience where the hard-earned sweat went unpaid whenever prices go down, leaving the farmer poorer than before.
Factory iko mbali, so mali mtu anachuna tuseme from kwa shamba, lazima ukue kwa shamba, wanatoa kwa shamba kupeleka kwa factory, it's a distance.
Efanthas Moura, a coffee farmer, can only account the last 4 decades of farming, which he says coffee played an important role in financing their livelihood and educating their children. Unlike in the recent days, where farmers are left with debts emanated from coffee production to pay the lease.
Seme hapo mbeleni tulikuwa tukilima kahawa tunapata mapato, tunapata pesa yetu kwa njia mzuri, na tulikuwa tunasomesha watoto wetu kwa njia ya rahisi sana. Watoto wetu walikuwa wamesoma. Saa hiyo ukienda kutembea katika hii area yangu utapata watoto wengi hawana degree, sababu tunalima kahawa, hatuna mshahara ya malipo inakuwa chini sana.
Betty Maina, the women representative, has proposed to plant and donate hybrid coffee seedlings to farmers, saying the old type is no longer much productive, adding that farmers should also engage in water harvesting now that El Nino rains are due, instead of waiting for the government to construct water plants for them.
Angalie variety ya kahawa ambayo wakulima wetu wamepanda. Tunaona mapato ama production it's very low. So we must have to check at the yield from the production. Is a farmer producing what they are supposed to produce from one bush or one plant? Are they producing? Do we have the right variety, and are we producing to our maximum production from there? We need to watch out at the technologies we have in our factories.
The farmers has now called on the government to fast-track repairs of the rural roads in coffee areas as a way of helping coffee farmers to ease transport. Mevin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Now on to matters health, and Azimio and Kenya Kwanza senators have together supported the health bill allowing hospitals to collect and manage revenue. The two, that is the Facilities Improvement Financing Bill 2023 and the Primary Health Care Bill, have been lauded as steps towards making universal health care program a reality. Ruga Ival with more.
1 month ago, the government of Kenya released 4 new health bills to accelerate progress towards the goal of universal health coverage. If passed, the bills will set in motion far-reaching reforms to how health services are financed and delivered in Kenya, that is, between the national government and the county government. Discussing the Primary Health Care Bill 2023 today in Turkana County, the Senate Assembly voted yes to this bill.
Now, Honorable Senators, the results of the division are as follows. The ayes 36, the nays 0, abstentions 0. So the ayes have it.
A number of them arguing that it will help to improve health infrastructures at the local level, as well as steering a safe and swift method of delivering medical services to Kenyans.
My proposal, which I want to request members that are here that were keen on that particular point, let's make that provision on 13F a little bit more elaborate so that it's agreed that all resources that are raised principally for the purpose of primary health, and I think it was Senator Dr. Boni Alwale who spoke on the interest that public health generates, especially with all these global funds. You are sure that all those funds are directed to the counties.
However, the senators want the bill to be amended in the interest of establishing a devolved management paradigm, explaining that too much duties being under the national government are withholding funds and delayed executions at the county level.
How can we be debating the law that will give a framework to appointment of community health promoters, and the president and the governor of Nairobi have already gone ahead and are telling us that they have employed community health promoters? Who are those people that were being flagged off at Uhuru Park? And what is the purpose of this Senate if the laws that are supposed to give effect to these things are being debated when the things are already being done? What are we doing here?
This is being put into discussion after the cabinet approved 4 crucial bills that promote healthcare emanation to Parliament. The cabinet said these bills are set to give a pathway in the legal and institutional framework for healthcare in Kenya by repealing the current NHIF, that is National Health Insurance Fund, and establishing in its place the following funds: Primary Healthcare Fund, Social Healthcare Insurance Fund, an Emergency Chronic and Critical Illness Fund. Among the 4 health bills proposed is the Social Health Insurance Bill, which proposes extending health insurance to all Kenyans based on member contributions with government-subsidized coverage for the poor. It also mandates the creation of 3 funds to cover different types of services and a new government agency to manage it all. Ruga Ival, Lookuptv.
Now, news reaching our desk is that their counterparts in the National Assembly have as well voted in support of the health bill. Still on matters health, hundreds of residents in Cherab and Chari wards of Isiolo County have benefited from a free eye clinic surgery camp that has been running from Monday. The exercise is courtesy of the county government in partnership with AIC Health Ministries and the Christian Blind Mission Global. Now, residents have been urged to turn out in large numbers and get their eyesight restored or improved, with consultants noting that cataract was the main problem encountered as a result of old age. Other eye problems identified are said to be caused by trauma and accidents.
It's a sigh of relief for residents of Cherab and Chari wards of Isiolo County after they received a week-long free eye clinic courtesy of the county government of Isiolo in partnership with AIC Health Ministries and the Christian Blind Mission. The project, dubbed as PRIDE, which is Priority Inclusive Delivery of Eye Health, which has benefited hundreds in the region by providing free eye checkups and eye surgeries at Metri Hospital to remove cataracts and restore eyesight. The beneficiaries have hailed the project, sending their heartfelt gratitude to the sponsors for providing free eye care.
Nashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye amewezesha madaktari wale ambao wamekuja kutuhudumia kufika salama, na sisi kama wenyeji wa Marti tunashukuru kabisa huduma ile ambayo tulikuwa tumepewa leo, because hapo awali maybe sasa kama kuna shida ya macho huwa watu wanagharamia kuenda sehemu zingine, then wanaenda kuingia gharama ile ya juu kabisa, na maybe wale ambao hawajiwezi, yani hawawezi kufikia kwa hiyo huduma, then wanapata tu shida alafu wanabaki nyumbani.
According to Dr. Kagendo Kahunyo, a consultant ophthalmologist at the Isiolo County Referral Hospital, who led the team of optical medics who are carrying out screening and corrective surgeries, she has highlighted that most of the challenges encountered at the eye-free clinic were cataracts, which mostly affect the elderly members of the society. Kagendo has also urged those with visual challenges to take advantage of the free eye clinic at Metri Hospital for screening and possible surgery before the exercise ends on Friday evening.
Cataract surgery, ambazo cataract ni ugonjwa ambao
unazuia macho kuona na ni ugonjwa ambao unaathiri sana sana wazee.
Wairi Mwasike, Lookuptv.
Onto the corridors of justice, and a minor alleged to have murdered Nairobi Hospital acting finance manager Eric Maigo will remain in police custody for 21 days to allow police to conclude investigations. The 16-year-old was arrested yesterday at Kibra area in Nairobi, days after police had launched a manhunt following a viral video that saw her leave the deceased apartment. Ivy Wangulu on the corridors of justice.
In a miscellaneous application, the police say that the minor is believed to have orchestrated the violence which resulted to the death of the Nairobi Hospital acting finance director, Eric Maigo. The investigation officer investigating the matter further say that the key witness are yet to record statements and taking of DNA samples for the government analysis by the government chemist. The 16-year-old will be held for 21 more days to allow investigations to be completed.
The victims, the family of the deceased have a huge interest in this matter.
Elsewhere, a murder case against Safari Rally driver Maxine Wahome proceeded on Tuesday with Asad Hunt's neighbor taken to the witness stand to testify. The court was told that Maxine and the deceased used to have differences and they would fight from time to time.
A bit frantic, but there was just sort of whimpering, like crying, soft crying.
Now, Infinity Industrial Park has partnered with notable stakeholders from the Asian market and has signed a memorandum of understanding with Guidong Association that will see heavy investment in the park. While signing the MOU, the Infinity Park proprietors say the investors in the park will benefit from improved amenities which aim to make the environment conducive for business entrepreneurs. Now, British Kagea with more.
The Memorandum of Understanding will position Infinity Industrial Park as an investment of choice for entrepreneurs. Infinity Industrial Park CEO says the Asian market and the Guangdong Association in particular will see the park revamped to offer an unmatched environment for investors.
We are joining hand with very nice board we have here, Kenya, China, Guangdong Commodity Exhibition Center and Kenya, China, Guangdong Commodity Overseas Warehouses. We have signed an MOU with them, and under this MOU, this is a joint venture business activity which we will be doing here, and we welcome all the Chinese entrepreneurs who want to establish their business and industries, enterprises in Infinity Industrial Park.
A multi-sectoral approach backed by the Ministry of Trade will ensure investors reap big from their businesses in the park through improved amenities.
In this park, we are going to manufacture a number of products. Today I was receiving a good number of Chinese investors that want to invest in this park, and mine is to encourage them.
It is. According to the Infinity Industrial Park CEO, they are targeting to create direct jobs through investments in the park as part of an elaborate plan to bridge the gap in joblessness in the country.
We are creating indirect and direct 100,000 jobs. Our main mission, it augurs well with the policy of the government. That is value addition to raw material, import substitution, increase exports, attracting foreign direct investors and their technology and skills. We in Kenya, we have land and manpower, very clever manpower, trainable, even skilled, qualified. But what we lack is the capital and technology. So these foreign direct investors, we invite them here.
Already phase 1 of the industrial park is up and running, with the efforts now directed to the second phase of the park. Beatrice Kageha, Lookuptv.
Now let's get sporty. And Harambee Starlets have displayed a brilliant run, establishing their presence and potential in the recent WAFCON return leg encounter that saw them dim the indomitable Lionesses through penalty spot kicks. Ruth Washeke with more.
Baba yake Josephat Musungu alikuwa mchezaji wa Thika Queens. Nafasi ya Musungu anaingia na kupata
Sounds of joy, jubilation and satisfaction took the Nyayo Stadium ambience when Harambee Starlets turned a spirited, indomitable Lionesses side following a Cynthia Shilwatso banger that led the Starlets to a nail-biting penalty shootout.
Manono na ndogo ndogo tusaidie leo. Anapiga penalty na ustaarabu sana.
Starlets have displayed a proper form despite serving a long stint without active football. However, the ladies have recently managed good start-outs, playing Djibouti 12-0, Uganda 3-0, Burundi 5-0, Tanzania 2-0, Chile and Ghana following suit before losing to Uganda and Cameroon in Douala.
Akiwapa shukran Cynthia Shilwatso. Furaha iliyoje Harambee Starlets. Mashabiki wanaingia katika mbingu ya saba hiyo wengi.
As the ladies await Gabon and Botswana in the second round of the 2024 AFCON qualifiers, Kenyans had mixed opinions on the same.
Me, I can urge the government of Kenya to do something on their costumes. Jezi, hizo jezi zenye wanavaa. And then the next one, development, waangalie pia financial, they should give them strong financial as they do to the men in the Premier League.
Naridhika na matokeo ya jana kwa sababu fenye niliona jana wakisema mambo na kuingia entrance kukuwa free, at least naona watu wanajitokeza, wanapea timu ya Kenya morali, ndio maana jana ikaweza ikapata ushindi wa jana.
Mimi kwa upande wangu naona Kenya tuipige tu support, coaches apige tu moral, pia sisi mashabiki tujitolee kuipea moral, then mbona tu ikifuzu.
Now the ball lies on the Federation's court and Kenyans at large to rally their support on the girls as they seek to conquer their AFCON bid. Reporting for Lookup Sports, I'm Ruth Washeke.
Well, thank you very much, Ruth Washeke, for that particular story. And that story, by the way, brings us to the end of this particular bulletin. But remember, like I alluded to, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania have won the bid to host the African Cup of Nations in 2027. In other news, Manchester United did win 3-0 against Crystal Palace in the EFL Cup. And Chelsea will be playing against Brighton and Hove Albion tonight. Or if you like, they are now famously known as High Budget Shabana. Leicester will be playing Liverpool and Arsenal will be playing Brentford in that particular competition. Now, thank you very much for making time to be with us tonight. I am Ian Keitani, our sign language interpreter has been Josephine Uko. Until tomorrow, do have yourself a lovely night, and like always, God bless.